Mayday! This is Lara Croft of the Endurance. We are stranded on an island in the Dragon's Triangle. We need help and medical supplies. Please respond.
Hot on the heels of Dante's DMC makeover comes Lara Croft's reinvention. This is an 18-rated version of the archaeologist's origins, though far from the torture feature that attention-grabbing headlines would have had you believe over the past year. You're spending 10 plus hours trekking across a cursed island that's guarded by a cult who either violently indoctrinate or viciously kill those washed up on their shores. You take it upon yourself to save your fellow castaways by any means necessary, while surviving long enough to discover the island's secrets. Think of this as an adult version of Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, but with a lot more gore. Your journey through the island, two massive hub-like areas aside, is fairly linear. But the game successfully masks the fact with environmental design that feels wholly natural. Each area may have a clear central path and only a few jutting side areas or routes, but these weave through caves, up cliffs and along pathways, all of which seem the work of the natural world rather than the careful build of a level designer. Exploration is more of an optional extra than an integral part of the adventure. Yet, embracing it is important to getting the most out of the game, otherwise, linearity is all the more apparent. Yet, Lara spends as much, if not more, time gripping a gun as she does a ledge. Tomb Raider has a heavy investment in gun battles, and for all the marketing fuss over her first kill, Lara rapidly becomes the island's own angel of death, with a body count in the hundreds. It's in these fights where much of the violence comes in. But Crystal Dynamics also aggressively showcases what a dire place this island is, with repeated treads through body-covered caves and blood-filled rivers. The gore factor is so heavy and high that you don't so much become desensitized to it, which is the likely aim, but instead you end up ignoring it completely. The studio would have had more pointedly put its message across by reducing these moments massively, and thereby retaining the potency of their impact.
Shit, Dad!
Stay away from me!
When Crystal Dynamics doesn't have your nose buried in seas of blood or gore, you give pause to absorb the landscapes you're venturing through. Your vertical progression opens the game to more and more sweeping vistas, while, as stated before, the environments you stealth or charge through are fantastically rendered. Each location has its own look and feel. And if you're not being shot at, or hanging for dear life off on a ledge, you're admiring. There's small character details as well that impress, though mostly these are on Lara herself. Take note of how she puts her hand out instinctively if you walk close by walls or duck behind cover. You feel part of the world. Sadly, the same cannot be said when you're leaping. There's a weightless quality to Lara's jump animation in both feel and look, rendering longer jumps somewhat lacking in physical weight. That is a very important point to have in a game of this type.
Don't shoot. Let's be friends. It's no good. Take her out. They're taking fire!
Tomb Raider is fronted more by gunfights rather than solitary exploration. There's rarely an hour's stretch when you can immerse yourself in vertical transversal without being peppered with bullets. A few wolves and odd wildlife aside, it's the two-legged enemy type that Lara's primarily fighting against. Funnily, we always thought these clashes to be the weakest part of past adventures. New mechanics here, however, refine gunplay brilliantly. There's no cover lock-on system, no crouch toggle, in single player at least. Everything's automatic. Lara will automatically unsheath a weapon when enemies are near, and hunch over while running. That'll turn into a crouch when near cover. A trigger hold will pull you out to aim, A button tap will duck you mid-run, and a double tap of the same button will make you roll. This is all built not to make firefights easy, but to make the engagements liberating. You have the choice between a stealth approach or going in guns blazing, while enemy placement to signify the option of the former is head-slappingly stupid. Because come on, which armed goons all stand facing the same way while guarding something, and that way facing happens to be with their back to you? And how do they not hear someone getting their head caved in a few feet away? It's bizarre. But the option's at least welcome, and becomes tense when later opportunities up the patrolling guard count. Make a mistake, or just to choose to go in with all guns blazing as we said, and reinforcements are quickly called in. Either way, Lara's continually outgunned, and the need to dash between cover points, as semi-destructible environments are chewed away by machine gun fire, or locations are blown apart by grenades, or set aflame by fire arrows. Lara's movement animations perfectly convey the emotional mix of being both hunted and hunter. Many of the bigger clashes take place in multi-leveled environments, requiring you to take full advantage of your weapon set. And there's a great deal of upgrades for pistol, machine gun, bow and shotgun to dig into. Pitch battles become enjoyable as every weapon has purpose and use. Once the credits conclude, we head back to 100% each area, for our own enjoyment rather than the sake of completion, and we're left wanting more. This is something we haven't said about a Tomb Raider game in a long time. The change has been a controversial one, but it's also revealed as the right one. We'd rather be excited for a new Tomb Raider than preserving the elements that work for the originals at their time of release. Better we're out with an invigorated Lara than watching a gaming icon gather dust and cobwebs for fear of change. That Lara belongs in a gaming museum. This Lara marks the return of the great adventure. We just hope Crystal Dynamics leaves the buckets of blood behind them when they return.